Hi, it's been a little while. I've been trying to record for a really long time. It's been a couple months, and I appreciate your patience and I appreciate the people who asked about me. If you don't know who I am, I'm Melissa. This is the Mel-Tran Designs podcast, and I'm your host. The hiatus, as you know if you've been watching, is due to me having a baby, and you will get to see her, don't worry. I'm going to talk about some other stuff first because she's asleep, and so I'm going to get stuff out of the way just in case it wakes her up when I bring her over to show you. So you'll just have to listen to me babble until you get to see her. Today, excuse me, today is Saturday, August 2nd, 2014, and I have no idea what episode number this is. It's in the 50s. So, anyways, welcome back. Well, welcome to all of you. Welcome back if you've watched me before and you waited this long. I appreciate it very much. I'll probably be adjusting my glasses a lot more than normal because it's pretty kind of hot in my house and they slide down my face when I'm hot. So, anyways, she's moving around. So let's talk fast. Weeks, months in review, lots of stuff happened. The kids got out of school. I'll talk about the baby more. Obviously, I had her. There's been recovering going on, and last week we spent the week at the Oregon coast. We were in a town called Seaside, and that was a lot of fun. We went with my dad and sisters and brother-in-law. We were gone for the whole week, Sunday to Sunday. I got to go down into Newport to go to the aquarium, and we went to the Tillamook cheese factory. Went to a couple of fun little chocolate shops and got chocolate, which is always nice. So anyways, we had a really good time. It was a nice break from the heat because here it's been like 100 and there it was like 65 to 67 and it was nice. I got to wear my my clogs and some wool socks and use my I knit so I don't kill people hoodie and yeah. Anyway, so it was kind of a nice break in the middle of the heat of the summer. The kids actually go back to school on the 11th, so we're actually kind of in back to school mode this next week. We're going to go get their supplies maybe today or Monday or Tuesday. We're going to go school clothes shopping on Monday. And anyway, so that's fun. What else has happened? Not baby related. Don't worry, I'm going to cover it. Well, we got a van because we have a family of 6 now and we outgrew our car that holds 5. So we got a van the week before we left on our trip and it didn't make it home from the trip. We were on our way home and the engine just went kaput. It's completely fried, completely seized up. Not our fault. We did. Trust me, I don't want to go into the whole story because it would take a while, and I don't want to take the time because I have a lot to show you and the baby and all that kind of stuff. Needless to say, let's just cover it all. We did everything we could. We knew there was a problem on the way up, but we were halfway up there. We took care of it as we were there. We just wanted to get home so we could go to our mechanic, all that kind of stuff. It didn't make it home. The mechanic, it's in Pendleton, Oregon. We ended up having to get a hotel room anyway, my dad was amazing. He helped us out. Him and my sisters and my brother-in-law and Jake all actually went home because Jake had to come back to work on Monday. And then my dad drove the 3 hours back to pick us up. But the mechanic there has been great. I've been dealing with the jerk that I bought the van from. It was at a dealership. It didn't even last 2 weeks after I bought it, and I'm now having to replace the engine. So we're doing some looking around on it to see what caused it, because I did get the oil changed a couple days before we left, and there's a chance that they possibly didn't put the oil plug or oil filter back in tight enough, and if that's the case, then we're gonna have to deal with them. So stay tuned for future updates. Anyway, I have some awesome friends that are letting me borrow a car of theirs until we get things figured out. So, trying to think if there was anything specific. Just regular summer stuff. Been hanging out with some friends. I don't know how many pictures I'm going to put at the end of the podcast, but that'll kind of show. There's pictures of the baby and pictures of the kids and pictures of our trip and, you know, things like that. So, anyways, I'll talk about her really quick. Her name's Quinn, and she was 7 pounds 5 ounces and only 18 3/4 inches long, so she was a wee little short one. She came a lot faster than my others. Don't worry, I'm not going to like tell you my whole birth story or anything, but normally my labors are fairly long. My longest was 22 hours. That was ridiculous, but the other ones were like 10 and 16 hours. And I had her in just over 6, but it was weird because the first 4 hours were normal, just kind of, okay, we've started labor. My contractions were only like 8 to 9 minutes apart. Not only, like, they were still fairly spaced apart. And so I was like, all right, we're doing good. About 4.5 hours into it, all of a sudden things changed. And I skipped about 8 or 9 hours worth of labor. And then, bam, and here she was. So she might make her appearance a little sooner. I think I'm going to go grab her, and then I'll try and show you stuff while I'm holding her. So hold on one second. She's right behind you. I'm right here behind you still. Oh. All right. This is our little Quinn. Her hair does this all on its own. It makes a nice little mohawk because on the sides here, I think her head just kind of forgot to grow hair. So here she is looking around, making herself have a double chin, even though she does not have one. Oh, there you go. So yes, this is Quinn, and she'll be hanging out with us a little bit here. Do you want this? Okay. And since I know somebody will yell at me for taking her head out of the shot, I will scoot the camera down. There we go. You can watch her make her funny faces that she loves to make. She was born on June 12th at 2:15 in the afternoon. So things went well. It was a little weird having the labor go so fast there at the end. Mentally, it was a little hard on me just because I kind of couldn't figure out what was going on. It just happened. It just changed so fast. I was kind of overwhelmed. But everything was good. She was good. I was good. You know, other than that, everything's fine. The older kids adore her. Anansi's a great help because she's, you know, so old. And Cayenne helps with her a little bit. Eli is just so sweet. If I lay her down to go in the other room really quick or something and I know she's going to fuss, I say, Eli, can you go sit with her and talk to her for a minute? And he goes, he rubs her head and talks to her. And so, anyway, I know she's kind of slinking out of the frame. Sorry. You'll just have to deal with it. So, you're making funny faces over there. Hey, look up a little bit. She always has really big eyes. Let's see if I can, her dress keeps coming. But yeah, she holds her head up pretty well. You can see that she's holding it up pretty well, and she's not one of those squishy babies that just curls up into you. She is always totally stretched out. Her hands when she sleeps are like this. Jazz hands. So anyway, I don't think I have anything more to tell you really. As far as any of that goes, you can just sit and look at her for a second, I guess. Oh, you want to stand up a little bit? There you go. Can you say hi to all the people? Yeah. So I'm going to see if she'll sit kind of behind me a little bit so I can at least show you some stuff, because I have been knitting and I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things. I'm going to move this up just for now. I am still working through my year of the Q. If you were or are participating, go ahead and keep posting. I need to post all my finished objects in the thread, because I have a few. And I don't know that I'll be really hosting any knit-alongs for the rest of the year. I don't know. I'm not really. I don't know. Anyways, I'm participating in a knit-along. That's a fun one. That if you want to join in, it's a 4-month-long knit-along that Fiber Nymph is having. The first month is already done, but you could still join in on the other ones. She keeps flopping. She's calling it her head to toe knit-along, and it's each of the 4 months. So the first month in July was knitting something for your head. And the second month now, August, is knitting something for your neck. It can be a scarf or a cowl or like a shrug or a small shawlette. And then, but it needs to be more neck. That's why it's shawlette instead of shawl. And then the third month is hands and arms. So anything that goes along with that. And then the fourth month, which is October, is legs and feet. And then so you can enter pictures of those over in her group, 90% knitting. And then if you make a large whole body item, like, and it has to be adult size, like a sweater or a vest or a really large shawl, something like that, then you can enter into a thread for that. And then if you do all 4 months plus a large item, you get to enter into a totally separate one for that. So luckily for me, because I got really behind on podcasts. I mean, I know I was sitting a lot, but I kind of just checked out knitting-wise for a little while. I was, trying to kind of knit here and there. I actually went through a little bit of a crochet period, which I still kind of am doing it. I know, shocker, right? Just wait. Anyway, but as far as socially in the knitting world, I just pretty much checked out. And then just a couple days ago, just a couple days ago, I was like, I'm ready. She's 7 weeks old. I'm feeling good. We survived our trip. So we're back in. So I've been getting caught up on podcasts, and I'm so glad that I was watching 90% Knitting yesterday, because it was August 1st, and she was talking about her head to toe knit along, and that the first month was July, and that it was something for your head. And I had just finished a hat the night before on July 31st. So I was like, yay! It's not too late to put my entry in, because she leaves it open a little bit, after that last day, just so people can take pictures and get them in. So I was like, yay! I have a shawl that I was wanting to make this month, a shawlette that I was wanting to make this month, so that'll fit. For next month, things for hands and arms, well, I can always make some fingerless gloves, and I will probably be making stuff for the girls anyway, just something fun and new for them to wear to school, because they'll, it'll start cooling off. And then October, legs and feet, and hello, socks, please. So easy to bust out a pair of socks. And there are a few sock patterns that I've been wanting to do that are in my queue anyways. So, perfect. Oh, I know the fingerless gloves I was going to make in September. They're in my queue. I don't remember what they're called, but they're thumb down. They're so awesome. I have the perfect yarn for them. Anyways, you'll see that next month. And then I have a vest pattern in my queue that I did a swatch for. When was that? I don't know. A few months ago. And I didn't get gauge, but I liked the fabric I was getting, and I figured out the numbers, and that if I just followed the size lower than what I would follow for me, it would end up actually working out perfectly as far as the number of stitches around and stuff like that. And I usually drop down a size anyway when it comes to the top part up here, because with being such a short person, my shoulder height is shorter than usually what it calls for. So anyways, so it's perfect. I can still do my year of the Q, and I can enter in for drawings, because who doesn't like to have a chance of having prizes, right? So anyways, head over there if you want to join into that. I think that's it as far as kind of administration type things go. With the kids going back to school, I'm going to do my best to get on a regular recording schedule again, which will be nice. I think I talked about it previously that Eli's going to do kindergarten again, which is going to be so awesome for him. He did okay this last year. He's stinking smart. He just is really, really young. He turned 5 only 2 weeks before they started school, and maturity-wise, he was just not ready to go on, and I'm totally okay with that. So it'll give him the chance to get really, really good at stuff, and anyways, he's looking forward to going to. It was actually, he brought it up this summer. I hadn't really talked to him about it yet, and he says, "Mommy, I want to be with Mrs. Barnes again next year." And that was his teacher. And I said, "Well, you know what, bud? That's great, because she wants you to be with her again next year." And he says, "Okay." And that was the end of it. There was no convincing him it would be fine. None of that. Anyways, he's totally okay about it. So that will, I was telling you that because I'll be able to record in the afternoons while the kids are gone at school. And I'm really looking forward to them being gone. This summer has been crazy. It's so hot that you can't go outside because you're just miserable. And so it's kind of like being in the middle of the winter when it's so cold you can't go out. They're getting a little cabin fever, but because the house is so warm, they get irritable. And anyway, the trip was a great blessing right in the middle of summer break. Well, not in the middle, in the second, I don't know, 2/3 of the way through. But anyways, it was great to have a break from the weather and to be just away and, hanging out and stuff. So anyways, I think that's everything. So let's move on to the knitting, because there's been a decent amount of it going on, despite the fact that she won't let me put her down much. She's, she's new. She doesn't like to be just laying around. So I can still show you with one hand though, as long as she lets me lay her down here. Okay, works in progress. One that you'll recognize from before. I kind of put it down for a while. My featherweight cardigan. I've decided to kind of start off, with fresh needles, clean slate, all this, whatever you want to say. So I'm trying to finish off things that are on the needles, except for the ongoing, like stash buster, or leftover, the 10 stitch blanket. Obviously I'm not in a hurry to get that done. So this is my featherweight cardigan, and I'm about 3/4 of the way. There we go. I'm about 3/4 of the way done with binding off the neck band. So you can see here, I've already, and it's rolling a lot more than it will after it's blocked. I'm going to pin it out flat, and then it should just curl a little. And then I just have just kind of this, so maybe 2/3 of the way done. It looks like a lot more when it's all stretched out, but essentially the front left I just have left to bind off. And then I have the sleeves to knit, but sleeves go pretty fast because there's not as many stitches. So I hope to have that done by the next time I record. I really have been working a lot on that. And like I said, the sleeves should go pretty fast because it's not 1.5 million stitches all around the neck and front. So that is on size 3 and 4 needles. I have a 3 on the one going on the right side, or no, a 4 when I'm knitting and a 3 for when I'm purling. And because they're interchangeable needles, I have 1 on each end. So that's the yarn is Legacy Lace by Brown Sheep. It's actually like a sock yarn. It's a merino nylon blend, but it's a lace weight. So I could just hold it doubled and make socks out of the leftovers because I have a feeling there's going to be quite a bit left over. So there's that, and then another thing that's I got stuff falling over. Another thing that's on the needles is a pair of fingerless mitts that look really funny. If you remember the Terra mitts that I designed a few months back, that's what this is. I know it looks really small, but it's not. It's adult size. You have the ribbing, and then you have the arm part, and then there's stitches here in the middle that make it pull in because fingerless mitts are often loose here. And now I'm ready to start the thumb gusset increases. So this yarn is from the Sassy Sheep. It's her Saki Sheep base, which is a merino nylon blend. It's so nice and soft to work with. This is the Moonlight colorway. I want to show it to you in the ball because it's mixing together really cool, but see how it has a soft kind of a gray blue, a gray, a white, and a black. So like at night when there's that little bit of blue in the sky. And I am knitting it on double points because I had size 3 double points sitting there, and so I grabbed them. They're my Chow double points. I actually got them in May. Size 3. Did I say that already? Anyway. So, there's that project, and that's for a friend of mine. It's going to go with a hat that I made out of that yarn that's in my finished objects. She, I'll tell you about it when I buy the hat. Anyway, I'm making those for her. She bought the yarn. I'll tell you about that later. I keep saying that. All right. This is my only other work in progress. I was looking around to make sure that I wasn't lying about that. I'm going to talk about the bag that this is in after I talk about it. So the yarn that I'm using is Malabrigo Silky Merino, and the colorway is called Turquoise. Don't you love it when they just call it what it is? It's bright turquoise, and it feels amazing because it's silk and merino. Hello. I love this stuff. This isn't actually for me, though. It's for Anansi because her favorite color is light blue right now, and I already had this in my stash. She actually doesn't know this is for her. It's for the knit-along, for the head-to-toe knit-along, and I'm just kind of making it up as I go. I'm wanting to have this shape. Let me get it to curl here. Like this. What I did was I used the beginning of my Diersta shawl, just as far as stitch count and getting the setup row going. But instead of increasing 4 stitches on the right side row and then 2 more, and then an additional stitch on each end on the wrong side row, I'm only increasing on the right side row because I don't want to have the wings that the Diersta has. I want it to be just the 3 triangles. So anyways, I love how it's knitting up. I love the fabric. It's on a size 8 needle, and this is a DK weight yarn, so it makes it a little loose but not lacy or anything. You can, let me see if I can hold this with one hand. It's going to be upside down, but that's all right. You can see that it's nice and drapey, but not wholly, except for where the holes are supposed to be. So, and these are in a new bag that I am borrowing from a friend of mine. Her name is Priscilla, and she has an Etsy shop called Madsen Originals. Madsen, Madsen Originals. She does some yarn dyeing. She's, as far as I remember, she's kind of restocking up on the yarn side of it. She also makes amazingly gorgeous needle cases. There's double point cases, double point, or you can do like the smaller straight needles. And she also does interchangeable cases. And she makes bags that she calls them project bags. I call it more of a tote bag. That's how I would consider it, because it doesn't have any sort of closure on the top. It's more like a small tote bag with handles, but it's a great size for, it's like a book size, not a little bit, like a regular size piece of paper size book, if you know what I'm trying to say. So she has those, and then she has these that she just started making them. And when I saw it at Knit Night, I said, "Oh my gosh, you have to let me show this on my podcast." And I said, "When you make another one," and she tossed this one to me. I'm going to zip it together first, and then I'll show you the inside. This is her cube bag. How awesome is that? I love the shape. Love, love, love it. But if you've been watching for any length of time, you know that I like the more geometric, kind of angular things. Has a nice little handle on it. It's lightweight, but is very durable because it's actually double fabric. I don't know, double thick, whatever you want to call it. I'm sorry. I'm a little distracted. And I'm wanting to make sure that I say everything that I want to say about it. If you like it, go to her page, and she doesn't have pictures of all of her fabrics put together right now. We've been kind of talking about that at Knit Night, but if you have like a certain color or a certain style or whatever, she has a ton of fabrics. So what you can do is contact her through the Etsy shop, or she's on Ravelry too as Priscilla So Mad, but it's Priscilla. So is SEW, and then Mad for Madsen, MAD. So anyway, you can contact her on Ravelry as well. She's on Ravelry all the time. But if there's, like I said, a certain color or a certain kind of style that you like, then you can contact her, and she takes custom orders. She's in the process of, trying to add all that as well. And if you're on Facebook, Madsen Originals Facebook page. Oh, and there's a Mel-Tran Designs Facebook page too. Well, I'm talking about that. So, anyways, then the zipper is across the top, 3-sided zipper. And let me show you the inside. And this is great for like a sock project, or possibly like a scarf. I don't know how long this shawl will fit in here. That's kind of why I'm using it. I want to see. I'm trying it out. Let me see if I can do this without it falling. Without everything falling out and the top falling in. So you can see it's a 5x5 measurement. It has this beautiful dark fabric on the inside, which makes it nice because then I can really see my project. And I put in, the other night when we were there, I put in the skein of Moonlight, plus I actually have a DPN holder. I didn't have it on there right now, but I have one of those tubes that you can put it on to secure them. I had that on there and the skein, and because I just had this much of the mitt done, I actually stuffed the hat in there as well to see kind of how it would fit, and it fit fine. The DPN case didn't seem like it was going to fit, but I just kind of put it in at an angle, and then as soon as I zipped it up, it was fine. It wasn't even tight to zip up. It just kind of slid right into place. And so if you use DPNs, that'll work. Obviously the long straight needles wouldn't work unless you had them sticking out and didn't finish zipping it or something. But anyways, she sells these for $25, and it's totally worth every penny of that, because Quinn, You are just being a booger, you silly goose. Hold on a second. Okay, here you go, here you go. It's okay. Here you go, baby. I just want to show you these seams really quick, how great of a job she does. And then on the inside, there's no, I mean, it's all completely hidden, covered. Look at that. So her attention to detail is incredible. So if you're wanting something that's a little different, I love the shape, and if you want really good quality, check her out. And please, if you buy something from her, tell her that you saw it on my podcast, just so she knows that it paid off to let me borrow this and try it out for a little while. All right, let's pick her back up. Hey, you know, you just ate right before you fell asleep. Yes, you did. You just ate. Yeah. I think she's just still tired. She didn't sleep for very long. That's all that I have in progress. So let's go to finished objects. Those are much easier to hold up. It was Eli's birthday, and as you know, if you've been watching, I make them monsters or stuffed animals for their birthdays. And this is Eli's monster. He picked out the yarn. It is from Hobby Lobby. It's their I Love This yarn, 100% acrylic. So much softer than Red Heart. I love using that yarn because it has the endurance and capacity to be beat up on like Red Heart does, but it's really soft and they have nice colors. So anyways, this one, what's his name in the book? Is it Claude? I don't remember. We call him Toothy Joe because he has, but there actually is one in the book called Toothy Joe, which I didn't realize. We just call him Toothy Joe because he has his one tooth right there on his mouth. So anyways, I used size 5 needles. It's worsted weight. It's a Rebecca Danger pattern out of the Big Book of Knitted Monsters. So there's that. Next is the Moonlight yarn that I was talking about. It's not a self-striping yarn. The number of stitches I had made it so it actually spirals. I could see it when I had it laid down when it was blocking. It actually spirals its way up, and then at the top, because the number of stitches went down, it went more of a variegated look. But isn't that cool? This is my Royal Iris pattern. Royal Iris Slouch is how it's listed on Ravelry. It's a Mel-Tran Designs pattern. And this is the Saki Sheep, again, in the Moonlight colorway. And I told you I would tell you the story behind it. My friend, who does not knit and crochets enough to know how to do washcloths, she came to Fiber Train and wanted to, kind of check out the whole fiber scene more than, Red Heart at Walmart or Peaches and Cream or whatever. So I took her around and showed her, and of course I was in the Sassy Sheep booth, and she loved the Royal Iris hat. And she's like, oh my gosh, I love these hats, And I said, well, you do know somebody that can make one for you. And I said, you buy the yarn and I'd be more than happy to make it for you. So she bought the yarn. All she's expecting is the hat. She has no idea that I'm making the mitts. And one of the things I told her, I said, I just get to keep the leftover yarn. And she's like, that's fine, I have no use for it. But I felt kind of guilty keeping that much leftover yarn. And I also have two skeins of this for a sweater. They're not the Saki Sheep though, they're her Renaissance base, and it has, oh geez Louise, 700 yards? 750 yards. So I have 1,500 yards of this exact colorway in my cubbies, and I'm spinning this colorway on the wheel. So I had no need for leftover of this color, and I get to surprise her with mitts. And you know what? I'm so happy to be able to do that for her because she has been spoiling this little baby. She has made her 2 different blankets that are awesome. One of them is orange. Oh my gosh. It's so cute. And she has been buying her clothes, and well, she has 3 boys and a girl, and her girl's the youngest, and she's going into 9th grade. So she hasn't had a baby for a long time, and even when she did, she only had the one girl, and so she's been really spoiling this little one. So I'm happy to be able to thank her a little bit, at least with the mitts. So anyways, moving on. I'll show you this really quick because it's right in front of me. I don't know if any of you shop at Wolf Farms. I'm sure some of you do. Well, if you've ever seen that these are an optional purchase, these cute little keychain sock blockers, I purchased 2 of them, I think almost like a year ago. And I was going to make one for Jake and myself. She has a little pattern. When you buy this, you get a free download of her little sock pattern. And so the other day, that's been in my queue. I don't remember. I don't know where she puts the emphasis. Acequia, I think is how you pronounce it. Acequia. Acequia, mini sock. Anyways, so ignore the tail sticking off there. Here's the one that I made a couple days ago. Really quick knit, obviously, because it's so tiny, and it fits this blocker perfectly. The yarn I used is some Desert Vista Dye Works in the blue that I had for those knee highs that I made, those really stripy knee highs. I used it for the toe, heel, and cuff. I had a little ball of it left over. So anyway, I don't know if this is going to go on my regular keychain because I have a mini skein of yarn of Socks That Rock that I got from Sock Summit that I haven't taken off. But what I was thinking about doing was putting our rec center passes on this so that when we go to the rec center we have this. So anyways, super cute. I've left this dangling on because there's these holes along here, and what I'm going to do is actually tie it through this top one just to make sure. I mean, it's snug. I don't think it'll fall off, but just in case, I don't want to lose it. And so I'm going to tie it through but make it so that I will be able to get it off if I want to have a different one that I want to interchange it with or whatever. I need to still make Jake's, but I pulled this one over here so you could see what it looks like without. And they're not very much. I don't know, $3, $4. I don't know. Her husband James makes them, which is awesome. Yeah, so there you go. Go over there. I need to put an order in with them really soon. I have like this much of 2 different lotions left, and my soap is getting fairly thin. So Dawn, if you're watching this, I'll be putting an order in soon. Anyway. Okay, moving along again. I know, I'm still going. I'm sorry. You'll have to just deal with this. I made 2 of these. It's the Autumn Orange Cowl. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and I'll show you the yarn that I made off of 2. It's out of some hand spun, and this is all it is. It's size 11 needles, bulky weight yarn, and it's seed stitch. It's a free pattern, like I think I said that. I mainly was using it as a guide for how many stitches to cast on because you just work in seed stitch. And if you see, there's some sparkly in there. And I'll show you the other one. The other one's actually still attached to the ball of yarn. I'm not going to show you that yet. So here's the ball of yarn. I don't know if you remember, Diane from Knittables last year had a spin along challenge where you take 2 braids of fiber that you don't think go together. You spin them separately and then you ply them together and see how it turns out. This was what I got. The tinsel, I mean, it's like almost full on tinsel. It's softer than tinsel is, but it's like that was a tonal blue, and then the other one was obviously variegated with other colors. And here is the second cowl that I made, and I have enough for like 2 more probably. I'm not going to make 2 more. This one has more sparkle in it, and so I think I'm actually planning on giving this one to my mother-in-law. This one has more orange in it, so I don't think she'd like it as much because she doesn't really like orange. So I'm going to give this one to my mother-in-law because even with the sparkle stuff, it's incredibly soft. So much fun to knit with. And so I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this. There's a hat pattern that I made in December, the broken seed rib hat, broken seeds. I don't remember exactly what it was called. I apologize. If you look in my project page, broken seed stitch, something like that. It has YOQ in front of it. It's one of my Year of the Q ones, and it's kind of a slouchy hat. Anyways, I think that might be kind of fun as a slouchy hat, but I don't know. I don't know if I have the guts to wear all that sparkle on my head. If not, mittens might be kind of fun, or I don't know. We'll see. I don't know yet. So there's that. Ball's gonna roll across the room. We're close. I only have one more thing, but I have two of them, so two more things. One, two. Okay. So I had this awesome hand spun that was left over from a couple different things that I've used it for. And I like the look of the Orbits necklace, and I did make one of those, but it's really ugly, so I'm actually going to rip it out and just do this with it. That was just kind of the layers of the knitted. And so what I did was I grabbed my size 5 needles and two of my double points and did a 5-stitch I-cord. And I don't know how long it is. I need to measure it, because I think I'm actually going to write this up as just a little freebie pattern, you know, kind of one of those. I could make it myself, but I just need to know the dimensions or whatever, kind of like that cowl. So let me see if I can put it on with one hand. It's long enough that I can have 3 layers of it, or 4 layers of it. And you know, you have to kind of play with it a little bit to layer them. But anyways, this was actually some of my very first hand spun. So I love that. And then, because I was on a kick and really wanted to use up this amazingly soft yarn, I made another one with this. This is the milk fiber that I was spinning, maybe about a year ago. I don't remember when I finished it. I apologize. Anyways, it's the same length as the other one. I'm not going to put it on because this is actually really hot. But it's so soft. And look at the drape. I mean, it just... Oh. And it's getting kind of fuzzy, which is okay. I've been able to wear it a couple of times, but I'm really looking forward to when the weather cools down and I'm able to wear it more. And I kind of want to make like 50 of these and just have all the different colors. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of thicker yarn to do that with, but I was thinking that I could also hold some fingering weight doubled and do it that way too. So anyways, if you want to make one, like I said, I'm going to just kind of write it up and say, this is how long to make it, and then you just join the ends and you're good. So, all right. That's all my works in progress and all my finished objects that I can think of. If I come across anything else, I'll just show it to you later. I do have some things to show that were sent to me that people made that are so awesome. There are 2 things that I cannot find. Haley and Lisa each made me a hat, and they're so cute. I do have pictures of them, so I'll post them in. I thought they were sitting right there, but I moved them when we went on our trip because I was considering taking them, and I think I put them away, and I have a whole bunch of stuff just kind of put away that I need to go through, and I'm pretty sure they're in there. One of them was just a simple beanie that's pink and green striped, and that was made by Lisa, and the one by Haley is a really pretty light blue. I can't remember the name of the pattern. If you will bear with me for just a second, I can look it up because I favorited it. It's such a cute pattern. So let's scroll down here. Okay, it's called Simple Newborn Hat with a Touch, because it's all stockinette, but then kind of right along, you know, there's the brim, and then just up above that there's a little bit of a lace motif on there. So really simple, you know, basic hat, but just a little bit of, with a touch of lace, with with a touch of lace. Sorry, it cut off in my favorite. Simple newborn hat with a touch of lace. And it's a free pattern. So, anyways, there's that. Hold on. I have another finished object. Oh, I'm glad I looked at this. Good grief, you guys. I have more. I have more to show you. Hold on, let me get out there. Good grief. That's what happens when I stick stuff behind my back. Okay, like I said, I was on a crochet kick, and actually, I had this pattern. Okay, this wasn't in my queue, but I figured if I'm wanting to expand my crochet skills, I'm gonna make an exception for that, because I didn't really have any crochet items in my queue, because I don't consider myself a crocheter. So one day I was just sitting in my room, and Quinn was laying on the bed, and I had this leftover yarn, and decided that I needed to make this pattern. I want to show you first, though. This yarn is incredible. It's it's by Fiona, but I don't remember the name of the color. I'm so sorry, Fiona. Hold on. I'm gonna pull it up and tell you, because it's such a beautiful colorway. It has escaped my brain, and I feel really bad. Okay, here we go. It is loading. It's Solar Flare Fibers. Sorry, I say Fiona, like you're just gonna know. Solar Flare Fibers. It's her Apollo base, and oh, it's the Oceanic colorway. Good grief, I'm so sorry. I feel like a dummy. Okay, so let me pull this up so it's on top. There we go. So this is what it looks like in the mitt that I used it for. It's pretty, right? I like how, you know, the little pops of green and stuff. Just wait until you see how this looks crocheted. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to be able to do it justice with the baby in my arms. Look at how the green pops. Isn't that... Oh, I loved the color when I was knitting with it with that, and when it was in the skein. I like obsessively love it now. I think that crocheting it just brought out, I mean, look at that. I love the pops of green. There was just enough of the color to last like 1 or 2, 1.5 stitches. Love it. This is called the back looptus. It's the backtus, but for crocheting, and you crochet through the back loop to make it ribbed. It's a free pattern, so I'm not telling you anything. You start on one end with just a couple stitches, and you increase only on one side every other row until you're halfway done, and then you decrease all the way down. And I didn't have a full skein because I had made those mitts, and I haven't blocked it yet. It'll relax more when it's blocked too, but it's a nice little scarf length. I mean, not little, it's decently wide, and I love that it has just this little point, because then I can wear it like this and have, that spot that gets cold in the winter, that'll be covered. And obviously the sides would come around. I'm holding a baby. I'm doing the best I can. I really want to try this pattern out with some really drapey yarn too, because I love this, but you know what I mean, just to kind of feel the difference and have it kind of fall open a little bit more. Super fun, super easy, super quick, super. And that pattern is by Sarah K, and like I said, it's Back Looptus, BAKLOOPTUS, Back Looptus, all one word. You can look in my project pages. I don't have pictures of everything. I'm actually going to sit here and use my webcam to just take pictures of everything to get it put up there. Because I have project pages, I just don't have pictures of stuff. So, anyways, moving on. I'm so sorry. Lastly, for real, I made a blessing dress for Quinn to wear when we had her blessed at church a few weeks ago, and I didn't get any good pictures of her in it, and so before she gets too big, I need to put these back on her. I made her this cute bonnet, and it's a drops pattern, and I accidentally X'd out of that tab. It was drops 6-13 or something like that. It's in my project page as well. This is just some natural colored yarn that I have on a cone, and this, I need to trim that little end off. I changed it a little bit. It called for being in garter stitch, but I wanted it to match the dress that I made, so I did it in seed stitch and then did stockinette on the back to go with the stockinette that was here and on the bottom. So there's that. If she was a little more weight, I would. Okay. And then her blessing dress, so flipping cute, and it was a great, I don't want to say great, it was a good pattern. I changed it because she had you, well, I'll tell you about it in a second after I hold it up. So here's the dress. Really simple, basic, you know, seed stitch at the bottom, seed stitch there at the middle, seed stitch here and on the sleeve band there. The construction, it is a paid pattern, so I can't tell you everything, but the construction, she has you cast on here with provisional cast on and do the top, and then you pick it up and work down. I'm not sure why. I mean, I guess it's because, so you get the, because it says, you know, to desired length, or, you know, this length or to desired length. I just went off of the length that she listed. So I started at the bottom. I was like, forget this. I'm not doing this whole, no, I'm not even going to mess with that. So I started at the bottom and did the seed stitch border, and then just, instead of doing the increases, I did decreases. And then when it said, you know, from here up, I just did it because, well, I thought it was a little silly, but that's just me. Actually, quite a few people said, this doesn't really make sense why she would have it done this way, but it's nice that I can kind of adjust myself. These are the cute little bumblebee buttons that I decided to put on the back. That doesn't, for the record, this doesn't pooch when it's on her. It's just sitting kind of funny, and I'm only holding it with one hand. Anyways, I already had these buttons. A friend of mine gave them to me, and I thought they were so perfect. And after I get pictures of her in this, because it was fairly big on her, I plan to dye it so she can wear it, because I don't want to have a baby in a white dress. So, and the bonnet will fit her for quite a long time because it's fairly big on her. So. The dress is called Sadie, and I had one other complaint about it. It's the Sadie baby dress, and like I said, it's a paid-for pattern. It's a $6 pattern, and it has newborn to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 12, 12 to 18 months. But then, if you want to make a larger one, she does have the Sadie, just the Sadie dress. You have to pay another $6 to get older kid sizes. I don't really like that. I don't want to pay $12 essentially for the same pattern, just with different. Anyways, that's just me. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I just didn't really like that very much. But I don't plan to make a bigger one anyways because I'm not in the mood to really make a fingering weight dress for anyone larger than like an 18-month-old. And even then, I won't be making, I might make her one more, but other than that, I don't plan to, and that's a might. I really don't know that I will, so. Anyways, I talked about the hats that, when I find them, I will show them to you because they're so cute. So, so, so cute. She can't really wear the one from Lisa anymore. I totally lied. I took that on my trip. I didn't mean to lie. I forgot. I'm sorry, this week's been crazy. I took it on my trip and she wore it one of the days. So maybe I got a picture of that too. But I know I didn't take Haley's because it's too big for her. And I'm excited about that because she'll be able to grow into it. So. Oh, and I made a hat. I made her a sun hat that's too big. If you don't mind, I'm going to go right behind you just really quick. I know I'm 54 minutes. I'm trying to hurry. I'm sorry. I don't think I had this finished last time, and if I did, I apologize. It's just a cute little sun hat. Like I said, it's too big, but it's not so lacy that she can't wear it in the fall. And it's with Cascade Ultra Pima. New love of yarn. Holy crap. Love that yarn. Oh, so. Moving on, I want to show this to you. Please bear with me. My friend Jamie sent Quinn a couple of really awesome knitted items that she will get to grow into because they're big. I think they're like size 2. This beautiful red sweater that is just cabled goodness. I mean, look at that. This is, it doesn't look hand knit. I mean, and I say that as a good thing, as a fellow knitter. I mean, this is machine precision quality. Just amazing. I don't know the yarn. It's red. And see, there's the texture on the side and on the sleeve. See that cute cable that goes down the side. I mean, just beautiful, beautiful quality. But yeah, she'll be able to, she might even have to be like 3. So she won't be able to wear it for a while. That's fine. I'm not complaining. Jamie also sent this beautiful blue dress that again is a larger size. It's nice and wide, and then about this long. I don't know how long. I'm sorry, I can't hold it up all at once. Let's see if Quinn will let me. There. It has some really pretty lace detail on the top. You can't really see it because of the blue. Let's see if I put my hand. Here, I'll do it at the bottom because it's the same type of lace detail along the bottom. Can you see that a little bit better, I hope? So anyways, she does such beautiful work, and I can't wait for Quinn to be able to wear this and show it off. And 2 more things. My friend Ben made her this awesome hat. It is too small now, unfortunately, but I do have some great pictures of her in it, and it will be fun to put on like a doll or something. So stinking awesome. Lastly, Fiona is flipping amazing. She sent me this adorable, not me, Quinn, you know what I mean. She mailed it to me. This adorable little top made out of her yarn. I don't remember what the base is called. I'm sorry, Fiona. It's the one that has the superwash and non-superwash mixed together, and so you can see that the dye takes it differently. And do you recognize the cable? For those of you who have knit either of my cursed cable patterns, she used that cable on it. How awesome is that? So here it is, and it fits Quinn really well, and she has worn it a couple of times. I just put like a pair of white tights on with it. So yeah, it's super, super cute. I'm going to end with a couple things that I have acquired recently. This is some yarn from Fiona, Solar Flare Fibers. This is her Soul Base, which is 100% superwash merino. You get 490 yards. It's a lighter fingering weight, and it's the Eyes Have It. So there's that, and Solar Flare Fibers. And here it is. It's so beautiful. I love the light and the darker. Oh, this is for a design, and it's squishy. This is for a shawl design that I tried to make actually with that other yarn of hers, and found that I wasn't going to have enough, and I said, do you have one that has a little higher yardage? And she said, yeah, my Soul Base. I said, perfect. And then I had to figure out what color I wanted. So anyway, and then these 2 skeins of yarn I bought when I was on the coast last week, and they're so beautiful. It's Madelinetosh Sport, and which is 100% superwash merino, 270 yards per skein, and this is the Sea Wash colorway, and that's why I bought it. When I travel, I try to get something local or something unique. This particular yarn store, their local was lacking. So I don't buy Madelinetosh usually, mainly because no one around here sells it, but because I think personally, my opinion. I think the fingering weight, you don't get as many yards as you should for the cost. That's my personal opinion. I love it. Every time I walk into a store, I can tell what the Madelinetosh is before I even see the tag on it because it's so gorgeous. That's just my personal thing. But this colorway, I thought the price was fair for the yardage, and the colorway was perfect because I was on the coast, so sea wash. So I kind of wish I would have gotten 3 skeins because I don't know that I can quite do something substantial with this, and I don't just want a shawl. But they do ship. The store does ship, and there were a couple more skeins. So there's a good chance that I'll just call them and say, hey, can you mail this to me? So anyways, that is all. Thank you so much for your patience and for checking in on me and for watching for the last hour. I think what I'll do is save the pictures on this one because it's already so long, and either what I might do is just put a picture one together and just upload it separately, or put it at the end like of the next one or something. I don't know. Or maybe I'll just put some in kind of as we go. I'll decide that later. I'm not going to ramble on anymore because I have taken up an hour of your time. I appreciate you watching, and thank you again for your support. And she's sleeping on me, and I was going to lean up and let you see. Let's see if she'll stay sleeping if I stand up. So you can see her sleeping away. So until next time, keep knitting. Bye.